Welcome to the Broadway Almanac. I'm George Harder. I'm your host. Today, I'm going to be talking about Gypsy. It opened in 1959 and ran about 2 years, closing in 1961. It won 0 Tony Awards. It's based on the memoirs of Gypsy Rose Lee, the famous burlesque star who reinvented the striptease and the high art. Theater writer Arthur Lawrence was put in charge of the project, with Ethel Merman hired to play Mama Rose. Arthur Lawrence decided to put together the same team for Gypsy that pulled off West Side Story 2 years before in 1957. He would write the story or the book, but rather than try to hire the very busy Leonard Bernstein again, he asked Stephen Sondheim to contribute the lyrics, but now and for the first time, also the music. Except when big star Ethel Merman found out about it, she said no. Sondheim was only 29 years old. His only Broadway credit was writing the lyrics for West Side Story, and she wanted a veteran to write her music. Irving Berlin and Cole Porter, two composers considered best at providing music for a show business story, turned the project down. But their third choice, Julie Stein, said yes right away. Stein was born in London in 1905. He had already written the music for Gentlemen Prefer Blondes with Carol Channing, Bells Are Ringing for Judy Holliday, plus a number of songs for real vaudeville shows in the 1920s and 30s. By the way, later Stein would write the music for another show business story, Funny Girl. Initially, Stephen Sondheim, after reading Arthur Lawrence's script for Gypsy, felt that the story really should not be a musical comedy, but rather a stage play with some examples of music from vaudeville's heyday. He told Lawrence that Mama Rose was too layered and complex a character for a musical comedy. Lawrence agreed with him, but added, "This is really the challenge, isn't it?" He told Sondheim, "We turned a tragedy into a musical with West Side Story, and now we're going to create a musical with a strong, complicated woman with subtext." This is what makes Gypsy historic in the canon of the American musical. Before this show, characters in musicals were not so much characters at all, but rather caricatures. They were stereotypes. You had the shy hero, the sweet ingenue, the wisecracking friend. Now, Gypsy was going to be different, but yet Lawrence realized that his writing had to make the characters just artificial enough so that you could believe that they would break into song. Another element that's key in making Gypsy work is, and it's a trick that all the great playwrights use, that the audience knows something that the characters on stage doesn't know. Alfred Hitchcock said it best: if the audience knows that there's a time bomb underneath the dinner table, but the diners don't know, it makes all the conversation at the dinner table all the more riveting. And the audience sees Mama Rose for what she is. It sees where she's headed. Her daughters don't until later. Rose doesn't realize what she's done until the end of the show with Rosie's turn. It was the late Hal Prince who once commented that people go to the theater either to be tickled or to see a little blood drawn. With Gypsy, you get tickled all right, but you also see a little blood drawn. The emotional blood of Mama Rose. That's your Broadway Almanac. I'm George Harder. So long, until next time.